Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Scorpio, September 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant. Well, this month we have a deck which is full of beautiful art, I think. It's been some time, I think. It's called the Marielle deck. You might be familiar with it. It was released, I think, a long time ago now, but yet it's still definitely in my top 3 of beautiful cards. I have been providing clairvoyant readings for people from different countries all around the world over FaceTime and Skype. And if you might be interested to explore what might be involved in that, just check out the information that's in the description. I charge for that. I have to. I've got to keep the lights on. But the spiritual gift, another spiritual gift that I was given at birth, is the gift of healing. Now, healing comes through me and not from me, as you would expect. The gift is also provided strictly on the basis that I receive nothing in return for it. So there's no obligation. There's no expectation. It's done for free. You will not be sold anything by me. You won't be talked into anything or suggested anything by me, required from me or anybody else at all. It is to be provided to people who ask for it, because if this speaks to you, there is a reason why that is happening. And every person, I do lots of people through this channel that approach me for healings, all of whom are delighted, and there's the reason. It's not a coincidence that it happens. So if this speaks to you, I would say don't be shy, reach out, and I'm delighted to do it. I've been doing it for decades, longer than any of you were probably even born, I would suggest. Now, what we're going to do is take 5 cards. There are no commercial advertisements breaking into this content, by the way, so you get to enjoy the content uninterrupted by ads. And we're going to take 5 cards, because that is, based on what my other comments were, all we're going to need, because they're going to be very talkative to us. So show me the magic. Justice. The Star. The 10 of Wands. The Tower. Let me see, finally, there is the World. Gee, you don't see that very often, do you? Well, why don't I bring the camera around so you and I can have a good close look at the imagery that's on these cards together while the cosmic energies swirl around us, and I'll do the reading for you. Well, look at all these major arcana surrounding this. So this is here as a message, I think, to you, rather than necessarily predicting things. It's actually quite some spiritual insights coming along the way here, as well as things that are predictive as well. Now, I don't know whether the artist intended this, but, I'm a geek on religious texts from different religions in different cultures around the world. And this reminds me, this is not about religion, of course, this reading, but this does remind me of a verse that's at the end of the Christian New Testament in the book of Revelation. It's chapter 6, verse 1, which says, from memory, and I saw the Lamb break open the first of the 7 seals. I heard one of the 4 living creatures say in a voice that sounded like thunder, "Come!" I looked, and there was a white horse. Its rider held a bow and was given a crown. He rode out as a conqueror to conquer. Just something as a bit of trivia that for some reason I just gets in my mind. I can't remember anything important, but I can remember all the unimportant, trivial things. Now, here we have an astrology which is interesting. It's Saturn ruling the third decan of Sagittarius. Well, Saturn, of course, wants to expand and express its optimism and its spiritual side. And Saturn, well, I actually think it's quite a good planet in the scheme of things, but it is definitely also associated with restriction. And so there could be some repression going on here, and in particular, repressed feelings, energy being held back. It could also be the case that you might be feeling overburdened or taking on too much, feeling the pressure or feeling that you don't have any control over circumstances. It could also be that you feel that you are a victim of your own success. Now, the Sagittarian readiness to communicate is blocked by Saturn, and it might be that you do get some fear from time to time. Now, if you fear rejection or disapproval or punishment, then you will begin to repress your own impulses. A lot of these impulses could have been repressed from childhood, you see. Your strength, your vitality, and your life energy can't be expressed and repressed. These energies turn into, well, irritation, frustration, rage. And if this aggression finds no external outlet, then you can turn it inward on yourself. Do you know what the heart has not wept for, the body and the mind later do? And so this is an invitation, I think, to recognize and end your repression and restriction of your life impulses. Now, I can absolutely assure you that there is no great reward for being emotionally withdrawn. There's no pity prize for bottling your frustration. No one is going to come to congratulate you for self-repression. But by opening up, maybe you will inconvenience some people. Maybe you will trigger some conflict. Maybe you will be rejected or criticized, judged. It's part of life. Everything comes with a price, but everything has its compensation. Live the authentic life. Living the authentic life requires pain and aggravation sometimes, but it also definitely opens the doors to joy, creativity, self-respect, and empathy. Whereas self-repression, on the other hand, it costs you all the beauty of the world in exchange for a prison of comfort. Now, is that really worth it? Isn't it time to break free? In any event, let's have a look at justice here. Now, this is the Egyptian goddess Ma'at, who, when a person died in ancient Egypt, it was said that the person's heart, because the heart back then was considered to be the person, was weighed on scales, and so there's Libra energy around here as well. And if the ostrich feather and the heart were in balance, then the person went on to eternity with the god Osiris. If the heart went lower than the ostrich feather, then Ma'at threw the heart to a goddess called Amit. Amit had the head of a crocodile, the forequarters of a lion, and the hind quarters of a hippopotamus. 3 deadly creatures known to people living along the Nile River in ancient Egypt. And that goddess just devoured the heart, and the person went out of existence. There was no hell or punishment, they just went. This period here for you has got Venus in it, ruling Libra. Saturn is exalted, which is good. Balance is coming into your life. Perhaps you're suspending action before you make a decision on something because you're looking at all the possibilities that might be out there. I think what there is here, the colours here of that blue, well, that's the colour of spiritual and intellectual powers such as thinking, ideas, wisdom, which is going to be very, very strong for you. And this gold color that's there, well, that to me suggests that you are going to have great creativity and the power to put ideas into action. Now, this ostrich feather that's here, it's pointed down to the ground. So your powers of thought are going to be directed towards and put in contact with the earth. So your ideas you're actually going to make happen. A lot of karma being played out here as well for you. Good karma coming your way, a karmic reward. I think there's a time of taking stock of your life to see what and who is useful and what and who should be let go. You'll be thinking clearly about the world ahead of you because you've got a clear vision of the possibilities and choices for you now, and you'll be following your true path and what gives it the most meaning. And I suspect that that's got something to do with that. So you should say to yourself, I'm going to remain balanced and centered. I honor my word, and I value being truthful even in difficult situations, because the abundance and beauty of nature is a reflection of my own nature. But a lot of karma, as I say, and just to talk about karma, do you know your faith is your conscience, and your conscience is your faith. You cannot have faith without a conscience, but you can have a conscience without faith. You see, we were designed to be good with or without religion. Yet, of course, the challenge for many of us is staying good, I guess. Now, we all know of some people who claim to be religious, but it seems they've got no conscience at all. While there are some people, and we know them, who have no religion, but they are very much aware of their conscience. So a religious label does not define your character or validate your worth. Now, in the end, all of us will be judged by the amount of truth in us and by the weight of our hearts. The heavier the conscience, the heavier the truth. The lighter the heart, the higher it goes into eternity. Now, the only spiritual cash or money that I suppose that we have in the afterlife is amassed in the form of light, in that the amount you have depends on the weight of your words and deeds while alive here. Conscience is everything. Conscience is what connects you to the truth and light of the highest power source of all, God, the cosmic heart of the universe. Now, I see Saturn around here as well. Saturn was in that card, and Saturn is also here in this for you. This is Saturn in Aquarius, I would say. Well, Aquarius is all about the individual and uniqueness, and yet it's got an overall humanitarian outlook, I think. Well, this energy here shares those qualities in that it is trying to remind you about the divinity and the uniqueness within you, while encouraging you to be like a pipe to bring down your highest potential. There's inspiration coming to you here. There's a self-recognition radiating goodness and wellness with you, a trust in yourself, and there is a connection to universal intelligence. Now, at the heart of the universe is a loving heart that continues to beat and that wants the best for every person. Now, anything we can do to help foster the intellect and spirit and emotional growth of our fellow human beings, that's our job. And those of us who have this particular vision must continue against all odds. Life is for service. Now, I also think that there's a lot of hope and happiness here. opportunities coming to you, very optimistic time, and unsurprisingly, cosmic blessings are raining down upon you. It's as if you get a more penetrating view into the limitless potential of your development. And the power of the inspiration that you receive, that is going to give wings to your soul and lets the apparently impossible manifest, turn up in the most marvelous of ways. Now you really shall be feeling fulfilled and inspired by life. And this is a reminder for you to follow your dreams, those dreams that give you the most inspiration, and be open to love and trust creation and what it brings. And I think that there is an encouragement being given to you that I think maybe you could have had some testing times in the past. Well, now is the time to move forward with renewed hope and live an inspired life that you can express yourself fully in. Let your star rise, trust your environment, and find ways to let others share in it. You will be tested by the fruit that you bear. Now, when you look at your day-to-day work or how you spend your time mostly, you might want to ask yourself, is this really giving me a lot of satisfaction? Is this really what I want to be doing with the time that I have, this drop that I have of life? Is there something else that I can be doing as well? And check to see if you are doing everything that is possible to bring your ideas into form. But say this to yourself at this time, because it is really true that I am a radiant light being. I am a star that walks upon a bigger star. I see what can be of benefit to people around me, and my creative powers of imagination and connection to all-encompassing consciousness, well, they show me the way to realize my ideas. Let's have a look at another lady then, shall we? Who is here and... Geez, ladies everywhere. This is the world. Very good. I don't know that I would ascribe any particular astrology to this, other than the zodiac as a whole, I suppose, is what I see. Look, there is with you now the completion of a project. I think your efforts are finally paying off. It has been a long, hard haul, but you're almost there. And this is a reminder for you to finish what you've started. I think you're learning to take control of your own destiny and using the power of your will to get results. And perhaps also you're reaching a new level of spiritual understanding, the first steps towards an enlightenment. Look, I actually think that you now are coming to the point where you see yourself and the world as it really is. You know, all the clothing and the masks, they're not important anymore. They're useless because you now are at one with your original nature. You're caught up like this woman, dancing with the liberation and looking into eternity. Well, what might I say about eternity then? In the outward, in the external scheme of things, shining moments are as brief as the twinkling of an eye. Yet such twinklings are what eternity is made of. Moments when we human beings can say, I love you, I'm proud of you, I forgive you, I'm grateful for you. That's what eternity is made of. Invisible, imperishable, good stuff, and words like that which echo all throughout time. And interestingly, what this is also coming up with for me, for you, is it's in connection with this card that's sitting up here. And what's coming through, confronting your feelings and giving them appropriate expression. Look, it always takes strength, not weakness. It takes strength to acknowledge your anger, and sometimes more strength yet to curb the aggressive urges that anger may bring, and to channel them into non-violent outlets. It takes strength to face our sadness and to grieve and to let our grief and our anger flow in tears when there is the need to. And it takes strength to talk about our feelings and to reach out for help and comfort when we need it. Now, I think it's also the case that at the moment you are going to be someone who's very gifted at starting things at the same time as you finish things. That is, completing the old and starting the new. And you'll be able to bring some changes into very strongly structured environments. You could be quite interested in nature, I think. And I think it's possible for you now to see things as they really are. The stage is now set for a new beginning or for a favorable completion of something, because the events in your life are in harmony with the universe, notwithstanding this, which we'll get to, which is good for you. Now, from what aspects of your life is it time to free yourself? Maybe is there a journey waiting for you to take, or something of a business nature to get into motion? Trust your perceptions and make a list of all unfinished situations whose tying off would give you a sense of relief. And say, I am excited about bringing ideas and creative projects into form. I deeply value making a contribution that makes things valuable for people around me. I now understand that I am in one with and loved by the universe and the beating heart within it. Now, I'll quickly deal with this Tower card because I'm aware of your time. Do you know, this fits perfectly, unsurprisingly, with everything else that we've been talking about. Here is the planet Mars. Mars, it's almost like a military formation coming in to attack this tower. Now, this tower is the things that are built up within your ego. Now, there's a transformation of you going on here. This is a particularly strong healing energy for you. The old is being destroyed to make room for the new. There is a spiritual renewal. A self-knowledge is coming about you. There is at least a sense of release, like a calm after the storm. This fire coming in is going to sweep out anything that is fake or not true to your soul contract here. And what's going to come with you is trust. The knowledge that all events in life arise from the endless love of the universe and bring you the possibility for learning and recognition. Now, this understanding of the true nature of events, even apparent losses or painful disappointments, you can see them for the valuable gifts that they really are. Even when there's tension around, when you recognize it, well, these are the most growing phases of your lives. You grow through what you've gone through. Now, I must say that there is also the possibility here that you might ask yourself how you could have been so mistaken about a person or a situation which now you have to come to terms with. And relationship breakups, could occur during this time. But the important message here is that with the destruction of the old does come the new, and you will look at life in this much broader sense and become out stronger after the pruning. There is, if you like, a major internal change going on. The divine spirit is moving through your psyche and just eliminating anything that's false or fake. So be easy on yourself as you change, as you evolve. This is quite a transformatory process, but you're going to be purified, And say to yourself, who I think I am is a belief to be undone. I have the ability to heal and restore myself at all times. Huge healing energy here. And I am not inside my body. My body is inside of me. You actually are an eternal, immortal spirit. And say this also to yourself. Everything that happens to me in this life here, it always happens for the best, and life goes on, and things work out. What a fantastic spread of cards for you, and so much better for having you here. Well done, you. You did a great job. What a great reading for you. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I thought, and these cards are gorgeous, I think, in a way, but I'm no artist, but they just appeal to me. Now, unless I see you privately for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing in the meantime, then I'll see you here again this time next month. And until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.